I'd been in a relationship for 5 years, we just got engaged a few days ago. I thought I was the happiest woman in the world, but karma hit fast. I found out my fiancé was cheating with my dad's secretary, who also happened to be my college roommate. Before we continue, subscribe to this channel and tell us where you're listening from in the comments. My name is Chloe Siang, 25, and I live comfortably off my father's wealth. My fiancé, Dylan Zhou, is 26. Thanks to me, he got a position at my dad's company in Los Angeles. We got engaged recently, and I was daydreaming about our future, until the cruel truth slapped me awake. It was a sunny afternoon. I'd planned to try on wedding dresses with my best friend, Mia Chin, a wealthy college professor. I just picked out a dress to try on when Mia said she needed to use the restroom. When she came back, she looked at me hesitantly, like she had something to say. "What's wrong?" I asked, confused. Mia frowned, hesitating. "I think I just saw Dylan." I laughed it off. "That's impossible. He's on a business trip to New York. He apologized for missing the dress fitting and begged for my forgiveness for ages." Mia nodded thoughtfully. "Maybe I mistook him for someone else." I waved it off. "Don't worry, it must be a mistake. Dylan would never lie to me." Dylan knew I hated being lied to. In 5 years of dating, he'd spoiled me, updating me on his whereabouts every single day, no exceptions. Mia knew we were perfect together, so she dropped it, congratulating me and offering to be my bridesmaid. I smiled and headed to the fitting room. When I came out, Mia stared at my neck for a long time. "I've never seen that necklace before. Where'd you get it?" I touched the pendant, grinning. "Dylan had it custom made for me. It's engraved with my name, one of a kind." Mia's expression turned strange. "Why? Is something wrong?" After a long pause, she said, "When I went to the bathroom, I saw a girl wearing the exact same necklace." My mind went blank. How could someone have the same custom necklace as me? A thought hit me. "Earlier, when you thought you saw Dylan, was that girl with him?" Mia nodded, looking guilty. My face paled, and I stumbled. Could Dylan really have lied to me? Mia comforted me. "Chloe, it's probably just a coincidence." I only glanced quickly. A coincidence? How many coincidences could there be? I searched the bridal shop, convinced Dylan was there with another woman, but I found no sign of them. Fighting back anxiety and heartache, I called Dylan. As soon as he picked up, I bit my lip, testing, "What are you up to?" He hesitated for a second. "Having dinner with a friend." "Who? Do I know them?" Dylan replied casually. "You do, Emma Wu. Your dad's secretary." Before I could ask more, he rambled. "I was supposed to go to New York, but found out a manager was already there. On my way back to the office, I ran into Emma. You know how it is, working at your dad's company. I need to network." It was dinner time, so we grabbed a meal together. Emma was a quiet, plain girl from a small town, my college roommate. 3 years ago, she'd called, saying she couldn't find a job. I'd felt bad and recommended her to my dad as a secretary. I thought even if Dylan cheated, he'd never choose someone as plain and poor as Emma. Besides, he'd volunteered the information, so I let it go. Hanging up after a few more words, Mia had heard the call and sighed in relief. "Told you it was a coincidence. If Dylan was cheating, he'd never admit he was with her so easily." But I wasn't convinced. If Emma had nothing to do with Dylan, where'd she get the necklace? Would he have told me if I hadn't called? Doubt took root, and I couldn't focus on trying on dresses. My heart felt heavy and wronged. After saying goodbye to Mia, I drove straight to Dylan's apartment complex. He wasn't home. I asked the security guard if Dylan ever brought women over. The guard recognized Dylan. He was handsome, hard to miss, but said, "He rarely stays here. When he does, he's alone." I frowned. Dylan was from out of town. He'd rented this apartment after college. Why did he rarely stay here? Just as I puzzled over it, a text came in from an unknown number, an address in Los Angeles. I tried calling back, but got a recording. "This number is no longer in service." At first, I thought it was a prank, but then I thought of Emma. Could she have sent it? Without hesitation, I drove to the address. An hour later, I arrived. The thought of Dylan and Emma together, maybe even in bed, made my chest ache. I forced myself to calm down. Crying wouldn't help. I needed proof of their betrayal. Then I'd crush them, make them beg for mercy. Instead of knocking on Emma's door, I went to the property office. I told the guard, "I just moved here and lost something during the move. Can I check the security footage?" He'd never seen me, but my expensive clothes and appearance convinced him. When he asked for my building number, I gave Emma's floor. He pulled up the footage, letting me search. I skipped to 2 hours earlier. On the screen, 2 familiar figures emerged from the elevator, Dylan and Emma. Before they reached the door, they kissed passionately. Dylan was desperate, nothing like the gentle gentleman I knew. Emma, dressed in sexy, tight clothes, was unrecognizable from the stiff, professional woman I'd hired, fighting nausea and anger. I watched older footage. Dylan visited Emma every few days. Most times, they'd start kissing before even entering the apartment. The guard beside me muttered, "That couple is so lovey-dovey, been together for 2 years and still inseparable." I smiled bitterly. They'd been cheating on me for 2 years. I couldn't understand. Why Emma? Was she gentler, more understanding, holding back tears? I cursed my blindness. I'd failed to see Dylan was a hypocritical fraud, and Emma a two-faced schemer. I'd been stupid to believe Dylan loved me. Did adults even have real love? It was ridiculous. Why had Emma sent the address? Did she want to replace me as his fiancé? I wouldn't let her win, and I wouldn't expose Dylan yet. I'd make them pay. Slowly and painfully. While the guard stepped out for a smoke, I filmed the footage with my phone. I left the complex, tossing Dylan's one-of-a-kind necklace into a trash can. At home, I skipped dinner, locking myself in my room and crying all night, letting out all the pain of Dylan's betrayal. The next morning, I planned to tell my dad everything and ask for help. Passing the garden at Siang Enterprises, I remembered my dad's company had hired a celebrity to endorse their new men's jewelry line. Today was the photo shoot. The brand had chosen a rising star, unknown, but handsome with perfect hands, a requirement for the jewelry. He was cheap, so they'd gone with him. I walked to the garden, stopping near the shoot. The young man sat on a chair, holding a magazine. His black hair fell over his eyes, hiding them, but I saw his pale cheeks, sharp nose, and soft pink lips. Dressed in a simple white shirt and blue jeans, his collar slightly open, he looked like a quiet Adonis. A wild thought hit me. I'd sponsor him. If Dylan could cheat, why couldn't I have a lover? I found HR manager Chen, asking, "Where's my dad?" In a meeting. Relieved, I said, "Get me the celebrities file. Have him come see me. Don't tell my dad." Manager Chan assumed I was a fan wanting an autograph. She knew I had a fiancé, and agreed. Before she left, I asked, "Is Emma Wu at work today?" She looked surprised. "I don't think so. I haven't seen her." "Did she call in sick?" Manager Chen shook her head. I smirked. "Probably too tired from last night's fun." "I want her fired," I said coldly. "Pay her severance, and find my dad a new secretary." Manager Chen hesitated. "Shouldn't we tell the boss?" I snapped. "A good secretary doesn't skip work without notice. If anyone asks, tell them I ordered it." She didn't dare argue. Hurrying off. Soon, she brought the celebrities file. His name was Leo Liu, 20, still in college. Leo had no parents, only a younger sister, Luna, who had a congenital heart condition and was in the hospital. He joined the entertainment industry to pay her medical bills, but he was shy and refused to network, so he'd stayed unknown for a year. I'd heard he'd rejected multiple sponsorship offers. Would he reject me? Just as I worried, there was a knock. "Come in." Leo pushed the door open, looking nervous as he walked in. I gestured for him to sit. Staring at him, he was even more handsome up close. "I've read your file," I said bluntly. "I know you need money. I can save your sister, but I have a condition." Leo's eyes widened in shock. "I'm not asking for love, just companionship when I need it." I explained. "We'll keep it professional, no strings attached. I won't interfere with your life. 1 year. After that, we go our separate ways. Think about it, then call me if you agree." I handed him my business card. Leo looked at me complexly, nodded politely, and left without a word. After he left, I waited for my dad to finish his meeting, telling him I'd fired Emma. My dad was surprised. "Why?" I lied. "She's lazy and unfocused. She's not cut out to be a secretary." My dad agreed. He'd noticed Emma's frequent absences and distracted work. I'd planned to tell him about Dylan's cheating, but looking at my aging father, my mom had died when I was young, and he'd raised me alone. I couldn't bear to hurt him. We'd just gotten engaged. He'd be devastated. I decided to wait for the right moment. As I headed home, I found Dylan leaning against his car, his expression unreadable. I knew why he was here. Emma's firing had scared him. He didn't know if I'd found out about their affair. I wasn't ready to confront him, so I pretended surprise. "What are you doing here?" Seeing my calm face, Dylan relaxed, convinced I was in the dark. He smiled, reaching for my bag. "Wanted to take you to dinner. Will you come?" I stepped back, laughing coldly. "Sorry, I'm not in the mood. Maybe another time." Dylan grabbed my arm, hesitating. "Did someone upset you?" "Emma." I raised an eyebrow. "Why? Did she complain to you?" Dylan's expression was conflicted. Instead of confessing, he said, "Emma called. She doesn't know why you fired her. She had no choice but to ask me for help." My heart sank. He was here to defend his mistress, fighting the urge to slap him. I said sharply, "Emma's capable, but that's no excuse for skipping work. She forgot who gave her this job. I can just as easily take it away. I walked away, leaving him standing there. The next morning, Emma cornered me at my apartment complex. Her eyes were puffy from crying. What do you want? I asked coldly. Emma bit her lip, tears in her eyes. You know, don't you? I played dumb. I have no idea what you're talking about. She clenched her fists, voice shaking. I saw you at the bridal shop. I told Dylan to come with me, hoping you'd catch us, but he saw you and hid. Made me keep quiet. I had to let Mia see my necklace to make you suspicious. I sent you the address to catch us red-handed. Why didn't you come? I laughed sarcastically. Why would I? You know Dylan wants to marry me. He'd never let me find out about you. With me around, you'll always be a secret mistress. You gambled your career to make me break up with him, hoping he'd choose you. But he won't. Emma smiled bitterly. You know everything. I nodded, twisting the knife. Did Dylan warn you last night? Told you to stay away from me. Even if he likes you, he'll never give up his career for you. He needs to marry me to climb the ladder. Honestly, you should thank me. You finally see the truth. And I should thank you for showing me what Dylan and you really are. I walked past her, driving away. For 2 days, I didn't hear from Emma. Dylan had really gone on his business trip. He'd volunteered to handle a jewelry collaboration in New York, eager to impress my dad. I realized this was the perfect chance. If I told my dad about the cheating now, if Dylan failed the deal, my dad could fire him without mercy. If he succeeded, firing him would be an even crueler blow. From hero to zero, I gathered my courage and showed my dad the footage of Dylan and Emma. He looked older instantly, but his voice was steady. Get revenge. He hurt my daughter. He deserves it. Tears filled my eyes. I promised I'd make them pay. A few days later, just as I'd almost forgotten about Leo, he called, his voice desperate. I'll agree. Please save my sister. Her heart failed. She's in surgery. I've begged everyone. No one will help. Please. Something, anger at Dylan, sympathy for Leo, made me agree. I paid for Luna's surgery, and Leo kept his end of the deal, meeting me at a hotel. That night, I gave him my virginity. Leo looked shocked, surprise flashing in his eyes. He was the perfect lover, on call, no demands, not clingy. He even cooked. In just a few days, I grew to like him, but secrets don't stay hidden. I'd been ignoring Dylan, so he showed up at my house unannounced. My dad was working late, so I'd invited Leo over. We were cuddling on the couch when Dylan walked in. He knew my house code. Caught red-handed. Dylan exploded. Chloe Siang. What the hell? I worked my ass off to close that deal. Came back to share the good news. And you're cheating on me. I stood calmly, sneering. You can sleep with other women, but I can't have a lover. Dylan's face turned red. You knew. This is revenge. Leaning against Leo, I played with his fingers. So what if it is? Fuming, Dylan forced himself to calm down. It was just one mistake. If you'd let me touch you, I never would have cheated. I froze. So that's why he'd betrayed me. For 5 years, I'd wanted to save my first time for our wedding night. Dylan had always said he understood, willing to wait, but it had all been a lie. I smiled a bitter smile. Don't blame me for your inability to control yourself. If you liked Emma, you could have told me, but you're greedy, wanting both me and her, all while using my family's name to get ahead. Humiliated, Dylan begged. I'm sorry, Chloe. I love you. I was just stupid. Give me another chance. I felt sick. I don't want something dirty. Our engagement is off. We'll never speak again. No, I won't let you end it. I laughed. Your choice doesn't matter. I showed my dad the proof. Tomorrow, you'll get fired. Dylan's face turned ashen. You're ruthless. I made one mistake. And you're destroying my life. You should have thought about that before you betrayed me. Dylan tried to grab me, but Leo stepped in front of me, voice cold. This is trespassing. Leave, or I'll call the police. Seeing Leo pull out his phone, Dylan glared at me one last time and left. After he was gone, Leo pulled me into his arms. It's okay to cry. You're allowed to be hurt. His words warmed my cold, numb heart. I'm not sad. That loser isn't worth my tears. The next morning, my dad called. He'd fired Dylan. I didn't care. I rented an apartment for Leo, keeping our arrangement secret from my dad. A week later, Mia visited. She was shocked to see Leo. I told her about Dylan's cheating and revenge, but not about Leo. You're insane. She laughed. While Leo cooked, Mia asked, are you really going to keep sponsoring him? I shook my head. I like things the way they are. We'll see when our year is up. Mia whispered, have you thought about giving him a real chance? You two look good together. I laughed. Do you think I'd trust a man again? Leo was my type, perfect in every way, but we were just a transaction. My dad would never approve of a no-name celebrity, and I doubted Leo even liked me. After Dylan's betrayal, I couldn't open my heart again. I thought our arrangement would last a year, until 3 months later, Leo called to end it. He was going to study abroad. I agreed calmly, but after he left, I threw myself into work, scared to be alone with my thoughts. I couldn't sleep, his warm presence was gone. That's when I realized I'd fallen for Leo. It was ridiculous, our relationship had never even started, and it was already over. It took me a month to stop thinking about him. 6 months later, Dylan showed up at my door. He dropped to his knees in front of strangers, begging for forgiveness. He looked nothing like the handsome man I'd loved. "Chloe, I'm sorry. I messed up. Please take me back." I stared at him coldly. "I once dreamed of marrying you, wearing a wedding dress, starting a family. If you hadn't cheated, you wouldn't be here. It's too late." I walked away. Later, I heard Dylan and Emma had found jobs, but their salaries couldn't support their lavish habits. They broke up, and Dylan, realizing he'd lost the best thing in his life, had come crawling back. My dad tried to set me up on blind dates, but I refused. "I won't marry someone I don't love." My dad sighed. "You want to marry that celebrity, don't you?" Shocked, I asked, "Did you make him leave?" Tears filled my eyes, angry and hurt. My dad softened. "He came to me. He said he loved you, asked for a chance to become someone worthy of you, someone who could stand by your side openly." I froze, tears streaming down my face. Had I misunderstood Leo all along? I tried calling him, but got a recording. "This number is no longer in service." Remembering Luna was still in Los Angeles, I rushed to find her, with Mia's help. To my shock, she lived next door to me. Luna smiled when she saw me. "You found me. My brother was right about you." She handed me a box. "My brother is proud. He'd never sell his soul, even for money. He agreed to your arrangement not just to save me, but because you were the first person who didn't look down on him." Inside the box were photos of me, taken secretly, along with dozens of letters. Luna explained, "He loved you from the start. He wouldn't have touched you, cooked for you, or given up his career to study abroad otherwise. He was too scared to face you until he'd made something of himself. So he asked me to live next door, sending letters to stay connected." Trembling, I read the letters, filled with quiet, deep love. I couldn't wait another second. I grabbed the box and rushed out, buying the next flight to Leo's country. As I stepped off the plane, I saw him, standing in the sunlight, wearing a white shirt and jeans, smiling. I ran toward him, tears in my eyes. He pulled me into his arms, holding me tightly. I felt his shoulders shake. He was crying too. In that moment, I knew, the best thing in life is loving someone who loves you back, and finally getting to be together. I finally believed it. Adults can find true love. Thank you for reading today's story. If you enjoyed it, please like and share with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting stories. See you next time.